Hey there, lucky stars. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here with a timeless reading. Timeless meaning no matter what date or time you might come across this message and it resonates with you, it is for you. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also want to give a huge shout out to all of the new and returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, we're going to go ahead and just see what messages need to come through for you. Lucky stars, what maybe you need to hear, what somebody needs to hear, or see what messages are relevant for you, lucky stars. Let's see what Spirit has for you. All right. Gorgeous. Let's go ahead and get a couple of tarot cards on that. Ooh. Interesting. Oh. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, you've got gorgeous. Okay. Let's go ahead and start out here. So, got those kind of separated. All right, gorgeous. Okay. You're starting out with the Live Your Joy card, lucky stars. Thank you, angels, for supporting me as I follow my joy. Look how gorgeous that imagery is, the energy around it. You've got butterflies. So some of you are really moving into the state of finding your joy, choosing happiness. Whatever happens during the day, you have a choice to make, lucky stars, and you get to choose to be happy or sad. You get to choose to be excited or mad. You get to make those decisions. Other people can't control how you feel. You have the power. You get to control how it is you feel. And many of you are choosing your happiness. You're choosing to let things go that, won't matter 5 minutes from now, or unless you're holding on to it, unless you make that choice, unless you choose to hold on to it, it can't bother you. You can't give your power away unless you make that decision to. So many of you are choosing to live your joy, or live in joy, to be in a joyful, happy state more often than not anyway, because there are certain things that can bring us down or hold us, at a maybe in a different state for a minute or two, lucky stars, and that is okay. This is not like, you have to be positive and on top of everything all of the time kind of energy. It is just that you get to decide more often than not to be in joy, to be in happiness, to feel excited about life, to feel excited about changes even. Although oftentimes change doesn't feel exciting for some, we get to kind of rise up to the challenge. We get to really be in a space or a state of gratitude for the changes, for we know that those can bring that growth, that new experience, that lesson potentially for some that is being learned, or is being re brought into your awareness, or right, to really allow us to gain that knowledge, to gain that experience, and to move through it. That is a joyful state. It is joyful to break patterns. It does bring happiness to an excitement to move forward. And so that is really what is coming through for you, lucky stars, for this reading, is that you get to choose to be in a state of joy. You get to choose. And there are your angels around you, your ancestors around you, that are assisting you in choosing that. But the choice the choice. Nobody else can do this for you. Spirit can't do it for you. Universe, God, whatever you resonate with, your angels, your ancestors, they can bring everything to your awareness. They can really show you things, give you signs, show you synchronicities, that sort of thing. But you are the only person that can make that choice within your life. You are the only person that can choose to step into joy, can choose to step into a hopeful heart, can choose to step into love, can choose to step into happiness. You get to choose that for yourself, Lucky Stars. And that message is really, really coming through here. It is your choice. You get to choose. And you get to have a grateful heart at the same time. There are so many things that we get to do, Lucky Stars, and this is but one of them. We get to choose that, all right? Now, you also have the Six of Cups coming through here. So some of you may have been reminiscing about the past, and oftentimes when we reminisce about the past, for some reason, we don't always reminisce about the happy stuff. Sometimes we do, but a lot of times we're reminiscing about pain, about heartache, about grief, about loss. And, that can take you out of your joy, out of living in your joy, Lucky Stars. Yes, there are things that we potentially need to work through, we need to look at, we need to understand as far as the past goes, but we don't have to keep putting ourselves there. The past, it can't be changed. There's nothing we can do. It's already gone. Move into your joy, move into this present moment, because in essence, what Spirit is putting through here is that living in your joy is living in the present moment, being present right now to what is happening, what is going on, and not continually moving backward into the past, into that has already happened, that has already gone, that is already what it is or what it was. Okay, so step out of that past for even just a few brief moments during the day. For some of you, like you start, some of you live in that past almost 24/7. It's time to step out of that and get a breath of fresh air and move into that present moment. Okay, now you also have the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Wheels, the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wheels coming in here. For some of you, this is going to take practice. It's going to take repetition to really move into living in your joy, living in your present moment, stepping out of the past. For some, we practice going into the past, reliving memories, reliving experiences, reliving, limiting. Did you hear how that was trying to come through? Relimiting ourselves is what was, when I was attempting to say, or what was coming through was reliving. So relimiting is what was working its way through within that, Lucky Stars. So putting the limits on yourself within reliving that past. Either way, whether you are doing that, you're putting going back into the past all the time, you are practicing that, you are using repetition within that, and Spirit is indicating that you can master living in this present moment just as easy. It takes just as the same amount or similar amount of energy to live in this present moment than it does to continue reliving that past. And reliving that past is draining you. It's taking that energy, that joy away, Lucky Stars. And so rewire, reframe kind of that whole idea that potentially some of you, now I'm not saying everybody, but Spirit is kind of, calling a few of you out. This is very specific for somebody. Spirit may just be calling you out because if you're living in the past more, your energy is being depleted in that past. You're reliving it and potentially putting limits or relimiting yourself because of that, Lucky Stars. And you can put just as much practice, just as much repetition into living in this present moment and mastering that. We don't have to master sitting in our wounds. We don't have to master going back to the past, something that can't be changed. We can move into the present moment, and or get excited as well about the future. We can live in our joy. We can live in our happiness. We get to choose, like he says, we get to decide, and we can master that. Okay. Wow, interesting. Now you also have the Queen of Wands coming in here, and this is really, really gorgeous. So that Queen of Wands, she's a very independent energy. She's very passionate. She's got a lot of fiery energy and very independent. And some of you lucky stars have really moved into this space. Now, this isn't like Debbie Downer coming through here or naggy Nancy or what have you. This is just spirit having a very deep, very honest, very open conversation with you. Some of you have become very codependent, whether that is within the past or whether that is within a situation, a person, however that may resonate. Some of you have become very dependent on letting that either still your joy or letting that become who you are, whatever that outcome was, that is who you are. If there was an affair that somebody had while you were in a relationship, if there was a situation that happened that didn't make you feel so amazing, or kind of felt like potentially you let it rob your joy or happiness, this energy is coming through here, lucky stars, with this reminder that you get to be fiery, you get to be a bit sassy, male, female, non-gender specific, because we all can be fiery, we all can be a bit sassy at times, but we get to be independent. We get to choose for ourselves to live in our joy, to live in our happiness. We get to choose to be angry or mad or sad, and in times that is adequate. That is, a place to be to assist us within something, but that isn't all the time. And some of us are using that repetition. Some of us are using that practice. Some of us are mastering living in those past moments, or living in that wound, or living in that anger or that loss or that sadness. And spirit is indicating that you don't need to be codependent on that there, lucky stars. You get to move into this beautiful passionate state, being independent, being in the present moment, living in your joy, and making choices for your own damn self. Okay, not blaming, shaming, or any of that. Spirit is really just indicating that this is a deep, honest conversation that needs to be had. Somebody definitely needs to hear this message, and spirit is bringing it through with all of spirit's glory to really, and with this beautiful fiery card. Just look how gorgeous that illustration is there. Wow, bringing it through in all of its beautiful glory, so that whoever it is that does need to hear it can hear this message. You get to choose, you get to decide to live in your joy, to be happy. You get to choose happiness in every moment if you choose. You also get to choose, lucky stars, whether you're living in the past or allowing somebody else to really kind of control your emotions and or to have power over you. You are very independent. You can be very independent, very strong, very, very fiery. And, you get to choose that for yourself, though, here, lucky stars. Now, you also have the Five of Swords coming in here. And look, you have the Five of Swords moving into the Six of Swords. Super, super interesting. So with that Five of Swords, it's almost as if, right, just looking at the imagery of the card here, it's almost as if potentially this is you and this is the other person. Now, whether this is revolving a person, a situation, however that resonates, but still sitting in those wounds, still very, very much captivated by that person, that moment, that time, that experience, that situation, however that resonates, lucky stars. And you get to choose, you get to decide whether you're going to stay there any longer or not. This is that choice. This is that moment where you get to make that transformative, right? Because you do also have the butterflies. They're white butterflies within this card. But you get to make that transformative decision whether you continue down on your knees, hands or head in your hands, kind of within this place, within this past, within this situation, or you're going to come into the present moment. Finally, if you need to let that go, if you need to, feel that, if you need to emit the emotions around that, lucky stars, do that, but then choose to let it go. Choose to move into the present. Choose to live in your joy. And what is coming through here with the Six of Swords is that many of you are going to, it's almost as if, right, because these two cards here, it's almost as if you're coming out of the dark or out of the cold and deciding to let that go, deciding to escape the past or let the past be in the past now and moving into the present moment, as if you really, really have chosen that this is no longer how you're choosing to see yourself. Lucky stars, you are no longer choosing to see yourself in this way, because oftentimes when we get into situations such as this, where we're holding on to the past, to the situation, to a person, whatever it may be, we're often seeing ourselves, please excuse my nails, I decided to let them breathe for a few days and not paint them right away, but we're seeing ourselves right there in that way, almost as if we are a victim. And Spirit is reminding you, lucky stars, that you don't have to be a victim unless you continue to choose that for yourself. So it's like you're coming out of the cold and you are choosing to leave that behind, escape. For some of you, you're ready to almost escape from that almost prison, if you will, or a cage that potentially you allowed yourself to be in for such a long time for some of you. But you're leaving that behind. You're ready to move forward. There's beautiful, bright, open skies, open energy in front of you. There's a lot of love around you, a lot of joy to be had. You're moving into this more kind of hopeful, with this younger energy, this hopeful energy, and allowing for yourself to choose that happiness, to choose that joy. And what does that bring you into? That brings you into the Nine of Cups energy, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous ending for this message for you here, lucky stars. That Nine of Cups energy is this energy of really having your wish fulfilled. This is a feeling of being very, very happy, very joyful, content, if you will, and having your wish fulfilled. You see, there's this one beautiful cup that this person is holding, but there is also all of these other cups, bringing about this feeling within yourself, almost of a release. Once you leave that behind, no longer seeing yourself in this light here, lucky stars, but seeing yourself more in this light with those choices, those decisions that you get to choose to make, moving yourself into the present moment, living in that joy, that overflow, and having your wish fulfilled. That wish for some of you is just to see yourself in a different light and allow that light to embrace you, allow that light to kind of take over, allow that joy, that happiness to come back in, and allow yourself to really move out of that state. For some of you, that is a huge wish fulfilled, because for some of you, you have been in almost that cage for so long, that being able to move out of that, being able to practice feeling good, practice living in your joy, practice being in this present moment, practice being happy, is going to really, really shift the trajectory of your life. And it is bringing that wish fulfilled, for you are seeing all of the beauty, all of the abundance, all of the bounty around you, that for some of you, you had been really not noticing, paying attention to, or witnessing, because you potentially were just looking at that for some dark past. So, wow, what a beautiful message coming through here for you, lucky stars. I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit that like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new readings. It is free for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and it does support the Lucky Stars community in growing and thriving. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. I'll see you in the next reading.